Imagine a city where billion-dollar military contracts disappear into the pockets of corrupt officials, while thousands of people sleep on the streets, forgotten by the system. Welcome to San Diego, one of America's most beautiful cities, now drowning in a crisis of homelessness and corruption. But what if I told you that these two issues, one happening in the streets, the other behind closed doors, are more connected than you think? Today, we're exposing the shocking truth behind San Diego's growing homeless crisis and the massive political corruption scandal that's been stealing taxpayer dollars for decades. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see exactly how millions meant to help struggling families are being funneled into secret deals and shady backdoor agreements. And the worst part, the people responsible might never see justice. San Diego is home to stunning beaches, a booming tech industry, and some of the most expensive real estate in the country. But beneath the sunshine and palm trees lies a disturbing reality. Over 17,000 people are experiencing homelessness, and that number is only growing. Just a few years ago, the city's homeless population was rising steadily. But in 2024, it surged by 32% in a single year. Today, nearly 70% of San Diego's homeless population lives completely unsheltered, one of the highest rates in the country. That means thousands of people are sleeping in their cars, on sidewalks, or in makeshift tents with nowhere else to go. And while city officials claim they're doing everything they can, the numbers tell a different story. Chronic homelessness has skyrocketed. The number of unhoused families has increased by 80%, and the number of homeless veterans jumped by 15%. So where is the money going? San Diego isn't just struggling with homelessness. It's throwing billions at the problem with almost nothing to show for it. Back in 2020, the city approved a record-breaking $3 billion budget to address homelessness. By 2022, that number climbed to $4 billion. And in 2024, the budget for homeless services was set at $4.8 billion. To put that in perspective, San Diego is spending more money on homelessness than some entire states. But here's the real question. Why does the crisis keep getting worse? A recent audit exposed something shocking. Despite billions in funding, there was little to no tracking of program success. The money is disappearing into temporary shelters, expensive consultants, and bureaucratic waste, instead of long-term solutions. But that's just the beginning, because behind closed doors, something even more disturbing is happening. Homelessness in San Diego isn't just a tragedy, it's a business. And for some politicians, it's an opportunity to make millions. Investigative reports revealed that in 2021, $215 million earmarked for affordable housing projects was quietly redirected to politically connected developers. These developers promised mixed-income housing, but in reality, they built luxury apartments with only a handful of so-called affordable units. Even worse, a $110 million fund that was supposed to go toward emergency homeless shelters was instead used to beautify a downtown business district, helping wealthy property owners while leaving thousands of homeless people without support. And this isn't an accident. Powerful real estate and tourism lobbying groups have flooded City Hall with campaign donations, influencing policies that make housing more expensive and keep homelessness rising. If you've ever wondered why rent in San Diego is out of control, this is why. And it's not getting better anytime soon. The cost of living in San Diego is one of the highest in the country, and housing is at the center of the crisis. In 2025, the median home price hit $950,000, more than double the national average. Meanwhile, rent for a one-bedroom apartment is now over $2,900 per month. At the same time, the city's population is growing, especially among undocumented immigrants and refugees. In the last decade, the number of undocumented individuals in San Diego has nearly tripled to over 25,000. And as more people arrive, the demand for affordable housing is skyrocketing. But instead of building more housing, the city has done the opposite. Strict zoning laws, land restrictions, and endless red tape have made it almost impossible to build affordable homes. And guess who benefits? The same real estate developers who donate to local politicians. San Diego is now facing another crisis, a massive spike in crime. And experts say the growing homeless population is playing a major role. In 2023 alone, crime in San Diego jumped by 15%, with over 100,000 reported incidents. Violent crimes hit a 20-year high, and property crime soared to 1,800 incidents per 100,000 residents. Neighborhoods that were once safe are now struggling with gang violence, drug use, and theft. Encampments have taken over public spaces, and businesses are shutting down as crime drives customers away. And yet, despite this, city officials refuse to connect the dots. With homelessness spiraling out of control, crime rising, and corruption running deep, the question remains, can San Diego fix this? The reality is, unless something changes, the city is on the path to becoming another San Francisco, where billion-dollar budgets disappear while homelessness and crime continue to rise. So what can be done? Experts say it starts with real accountability, forcing politicians to track spending and actually solve the problem. Zoning reform, so more affordable housing can be built. Cracking down on corruption, so taxpayer money goes where it's needed. But the biggest change? Public pressure. If enough people demand action, the city will have no choice but to respond. San Diego was once known as America's finest city, but today it's on the verge of collapse. The combination of unchecked homelessness, political corruption, and a skyrocketing cost of living is turning paradise into a nightmare. So what do you think? Is San Diego doomed to fail, or can it still be saved? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video eye-opening, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what we expose next. Because trust me, this is only the beginning.